whoa, what's up, Gump? And what's up, freaks? I've heard a saying, 90% of the work is in the last 10% of the project, and it has never made sense until we got where we are. Boy, oh boy, has it been a challenge. It has literally been testing me every step of the way, but I'm always ready for a challenge. Are you ready, Gump? Let's go!
To some losses through the process had me furious, but I got eyes on the vision, can't get delirious. Fall in love with the game and then you marry it. I think I married it. This the anthem. If you reckon with it, put your hands up. Yeah, this the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up.
Before we jump into the progress, I just want to talk to you guys about something. I always do my best to keep it real. I do my best to share the things I learn. I want to see people grow, whether it's with a car. Mentally is my favorite thing to see growth in, but I've been diving in this car head on, and it's been taking a lot from me. I didn't really realize until I started editing the video that it's just a lot of time lapse. So I'm trying to put some context in certain things. One thing I don't touch on is the remote sensor mount, and I didn't know anything about remote sensors until I got to the point with the car that I'm at right now. I've always had a super basic setup. The idea is to save the sensor. It'll last longer, less vibration, less prone to breaking. So it makes total sense, but I didn't know it until, again, I got where I'm at and I went to install them, and it's like, you don't install them direct. Okay, now I know. Also, most of the fittings you're gonna need, at least on this specific car, are a metric to an 1/8 MPT. Boy, oh boy, are those sensors hard to find. So if you're gonna do anything with monitoring the oil pressure, the trans pressure, any of that stuff, I would recommend that you try to find the MPT to metric adapter before you get started, because almost every single one I've found is a minimum of a week out. So having the deadline I have, not ideal, but of course we'll make do. And also, I was looking for a catch can, puke tank options and info, and I just didn't find much out there. So I just dove in head first, and that's how you learn, right? Well, I didn't really learn until I started posting pictures of it and already had all the fittings and lines bought, so that kind of sucks. But I learned. And at the end of the video, I'll share what I learned because, again, I want to help you guys grow too. So I appreciate everybody who comments and literally tries to help me just out of trying to help me grow. If you try to talk shit on what I'm doing, I still appreciate you if the knowledge gets us somewhere. Anyway, let's jump in. You ready, Gump? Let's go. It's just my heart in a box. Life-size version. Just kidding. Anyway, so let's go ahead and pick up exactly where we left off. Making the template for our catch can. Burn down tank, puke tank. What are the differences? I'm sure there's a technical side to all of it. I was thinking mirror for the vent, and then here for the line from the valve cover. I got the bung for the catch can or burn down tank, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to put that on there. It's more realistic to where the template will need to be made. I got some lines to make from the bulkhead on the firewall. It's going to go to like a Y essentially to a 12 AN. I'm not going to get that Y until like Monday. So I'm just doing the best with what I got. I'm going to try to visualize where it's going to go. I don't know if I can find measurements on it or not, but I did also get this too for the drain from the catch can. So I'll be able to install that. I got sensors for the trans and oil pressure, and then I'm going to dig through here to just make up what I got, you know, for the drain from the catch can. So the goal remains the same. Fight on, make progress with what we can, and stay excited, man. It's been a crazy fast journey, and it's a lot sometimes, but I'm daggone proud of where we're at, and let's keep fighting, man. Let's dig into the car. I guess really what my options are, let this be the last piece right there, which probably actually makes the most sense and I wasn't even considering. So then just run a 90 to a 90 and like kind of have that mounted right there, dialed. So I'm going to be honest, not, 100% sold on what I'm going to do here, but I just took some toolbox liner and worm clamped it to that spot, 90. It's stout. It's not super convenient to have to get into the car and do that, I know, but you're gonna have to get into the car to do it with a petcock there or there. And the only reason I'm avoiding putting one there, which I know I can just have it threaded. I know that. I'm very aware of that. And then thread it once it's in the car, and that could make sense too, but I just want to try this route and see what I think. So without really knowing the exact length of that adapter, I guess I'm just gonna leave these pretty long. All right, so until we get the other fittings and adapters and all that crap, I'm calling that kaput. Without knowing exactly where these lines are going to meet up and exactly how it's going to go, I'm just going to leave a little bit of slack. But I want to try to run this line as close to where I'm going to run it. And a lot of people will, run it in the center, do whatever. I just want to kind of keep everything on this side. Might create a little bit of extra hose. And I'm just going to see what the best routing option is. I've had a couple different in mind, but some of them just create extra hose, like going along this way. I don't know, I feel like cutting across could be weird, but it might be fine. I'm just gonna get in there and kind of play with it and see where it takes me. So for the vent, I did not want to go through the hatch. Being kind of weird about it. And I can't remember if this is for the reverse lights normally. Yeah, it is. It's right there's a reverse light plug. But got me thinking. That had the potential of not working, and I knew that going in, but I feel like we made the best of a hole that was already there, and it was kind of already, bent out of shape, but as you can see, we just barely had enough room. We kind of had to like force it, but looks really good, and I think that's going to be an awesome vent, so I'm happy with that. It's kind of hard to get the real perception of what's going on because the daggone thing's made of cardboard, so it's not real rigid. And the hose isn't mounted with clamps because I don't have the other fitting either, but I'm pretty stoked with how that turned out. And I like the vent option versus trying to freaking vent out of my new hatch. Fire me up. So here's what I have, and unfortunately, I'm told it's not enough. I will be monitoring crankcase pressure to know for sure. It goes from the bulkhead on the firewall to that, to the 12AN I have running to the catch can. And it just runs down the side of the car, comes up, and then goes back there. All right, I did lots of dabbling on the interwebs, trying to figure out the science between the catch can, the lines, the puke tank, the differences in all of it. And honestly, I couldn't really find much. And I messaged quite a few people that are way smarter than me, and I didn't really get an answer I felt that just made it make sense. I was going off of a V8 Mustang that I work around, and they had two 12AN lines coming to the back. They did end up upgrading to the 1.25" inner diameter hose, and again, I'm like, man, if they had two 12s, 112 would work for mine. Anyway, I talked to somebody, I don't know if he wants to be named or not, but he's hella smart, and he basically finally explained it to me in a way that made sense. We run triple the boost to make anywhere near what they're making typically, so we have a lot of crankcase pressure, right? So it needs to be relieved. Well, the simplest way I'll put it is if I want to run those two 10AN lines to the bulkhead and then two 10AN lines to one line, it needs to at least match the inner diameter. So the inner diameter of a 10AN line is 0.625, so multiply that times 2, that's what your minimum diameter. Well, the 12AN is not going to be anywhere near that. So in theory, this is going to choke the system. Now, I was told this by two different people, and they explained it different ways, but they both made sense to me. Now, if the breather is smaller than the diameter of the hose going to the tank, it's a restriction. So at minimum, this should be 2 inches, is what I'm told. So these are all things I've learned, And of course I've been posting pictures of the box and stuff, and the right people just didn't see it until after I had already bought it, because I didn't post my plans anywhere. So kind of a pricey lesson learned here. I'm just going to end up getting a crankcase sensor and start from there and be able to just tell where we're at and how restrictive it is. But I just wanted to tell you guys. So I'm thinking I want to come up with a more informative thing of like building this and actually talking about it and trying to get to the specifics, because I didn't really see a video or anything out there. I mean, they talked about catch cans and like the baffling and how the oil works and how the separation works, kind of. But I'd love to make something like that. And I hate tutorials. I hate how-tos, because there's a million different ways to skin a cat and a million different philosophies and a million different everything. And I just don't ever want to hear anybody's bullshit, even though I already hear people's bullshit anyway, and I just don't really care to hear more. But I really think that could help people out. So I might look into that and see if I can't gather up enough info to make something, you know, a little more strategically. But anyway, now you know, this has to be bigger for sure than the sum of hoses going to the back, and then this has to match whatever hose it Ys from, if you want to Y from it at minimum, if you're going to go to one hose. Not 100% sure what the plan is. My training, the AN lines didn't really work. Well, it worked when I had the freaking zip tie on there, of course, but not no mo. Anyway, I got these, I don't even know what the hell these are called technically. Line holders is what I call them, but I know for sure I'm going to want one down yonder there, and then I might want one up yonder here. So I'm just going to put them on here and see where it takes me. Very random, but I finally remembered to grab some red Loctite, so it seemed like the perfect time to put these torque converter bolts on. Our ECU mount finally showed up all the way from Australia, so let's go ahead and get that sucker mounted. Come here! On it? It's okay. It's okay. Come on. There you go. What a good girl. Hi, Mama. All right. I've had it in my head that this is where this is going to go before I even got this piece. And, of course, I get it and I start testing, and I don't like that covers up that hole or this hole or whatever, but like that area is pretty sweet. I thought about down here, but I'm trying to avoid it being kicked. So like, even if it's like that, that could work, because you could still see like the lights, right? So that'd be sweet. Might be a little difficult to plug in, but it's not like that's real important, I don't think. I don't know. All right, here is where I mounted the Nexus. With racing always being my priority and wanting to be able to troubleshoot as fast as possible, you know, I want to be able to see that those lights are on, or if I have to test a connector or whatever. So this made the most sense. All right, this is one of those things that proves a day away is okay, because this sensor fitting was becoming a nightmare for me because I was overthinking it because I was getting overwhelmed with all the other problems. Here's the sensor fitting I had, and I kept thinking that the threads were messed up on either this or the sensor, and I could get other stuff to thread in there, so it didn't make sense. I found one of these dual hole ones, and it made me realize, the probe is interfering here, so it can't even thread. Well, I had one on the 8AN setup, and I had an adapter already going to the 6AN line. I don't know why I didn't think about switching this out sooner, but that's a problem solved. So sometimes it is okay to walk away and just come back fresh-minded. It worked out this time. Usually I push through it and struggle it and break about 85 things, but it's fine. We'll talk about that later. Why'd you get so serious when I pulled that out? Hey, I just want to shout out to my buddy Caleb. He's out here helping me bleed these brakes, but somehow magically, my guy's being useful. He's sitting down on the fucking job. Can somebody make sense of that for me? No, but I appreciate you, bro.
Are you sure?
I do.
Oh. Because I could.
I definitely couldn't do it without you. There's that.
Well, I know.
But
That's why I'm here.
also remember the brake pedal is made for a man, so take her easy. All right, brother, pump 'em whenever you're ready. All right, let's see if we made any progress.
I doubt it.
I love the confidence. Thanks, bro. Go ahead, pump 'em. I'm definitely leaving the camera there while you get out of the car, so
Great.
go ahead and act professional getting out of there. Come here, I need your help.
You just want me to get out of this damn thing on camera.
No, I need your help.
Yeah. You need a bigger fucking car.
What are they, 101?
Well, you know what? It has to be because every place I go, literally, like, there'll be guys standing there. I don't even fucking know. They're like, purple shoes, huh? Like, yep. Like, what, obviously, motherfucker. Here's what it is. Bro, people just be hating. Did you see my Ninja Turtle shoes?
That sounds...
Stop.
You didn't let me finish.
Stop. Sounds what?
Gay as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Using that brake clean like a shop owns it.
We got an LLC now.
Yeah?
No, not yet.
Oh. The things that Harley doesn't show you off camera.
Well, that's because my buddy who's filming that told me not to film my address, driveway.
Where's your address in there?
Bro.
Who told you that?
You remember when you saw the thing on the back of the barn that I painted on there and you were like, bro.
Oh yeah, the one that said your address and everything?
Yeah.
That one? Is that...
It technically says my city, but
Okay, how big is this said city? Which
well,
is technically
my mom's
a
the
village.
mayor. And I'm the sheriff, so. Because technically it doesn't exist anymore. Just in case I have to post this, this is not the finality of my wheels going on. It's just
I
to have
was
the wheels on.
Actually, just about to ask.
Of course you were, because you're a dick, but it's fine.
I was
It's
like,
just way easier to have this out because I use this little guy for everything versus getting my impact out because I'm always a piece of shit.
so you use that, then get your impact?
No, I don't get my impact out at all.
Your
When I
impact?
put the... You're a dick. You're definitely a dick. When I put my car on the ground, I get out my torque lance.
Who that? Rolling in here like they own the place.
Maybe they do.
Possibly.
Is it a guy or a girl?
Both?
I don't know who that is.
Elderly?
How you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Good.
Okay, which one is Harley?
Yes, sir.
You probably remember.
I know you. You may. Yes, I do.
I see you have nothing else going on.
Never.
Did I screw you up?
That's all the progress for right now. I want to do a keep it real moment with you guys. I've had so many doubts, so many worries, so much stress and anxiety. I always check myself though, right? Instead of, what if I can't come up with the money? What if the car blows up right away? What if blah, 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 blah. I try to flip my perspective when I get in those negative thoughts or those self-doubts. And I remember that I'm a beast, I'm a lion, and I'm a champ. And I'm like, what if we find the money? What if I get my car running by April? What if we get to the track and get a PB, the first outing? What if our first event, we get that W and we're victory lane and we're celebrating with everybody who believed in us, you know, whether in person or online, whatever, it doesn't matter, man. That's the shit that fires me up. Racing fires me up. The possibilities of what's possible fires me up, and that's gonna come with some struggles sometimes. But this shit is what I live for. Firing people up is what I live for. I genuinely hope you're doing something that excites you, man, because if you're not, you're missing out. The chase, the not knowing, ooh, it fires me up to see if I can make it happen. How's your projects doing? I hope you're out there working on them, because if you're not, it's not getting done. As always, I want to encourage you guys to be just like Gumpy is with his ball. Get out there. Get outside your dadgum comfort zone. Feed dreams and starve fears, y'all.